Senator Susan Collins and Angus King have co-sponsored legislation to help Maine wild blueberry and potato farmers access global markets. It would help them boost exports of these crops. The bill would do things like address high tariffs and burdensome labeling requirements. They say farmers may face these and other trade barriers when accessing foreign markets, which could threaten rural communities and agricultural producers who depend on overseas customers. They say the legislation would make key improvements to the annual trade report on issues with specialty crops to better identify and combat unreasonable trade barriers.